In the news tonight, Chinese developers found guilty. New Zealand authorities want alleged drug trafficker. And Sodelpa appoints new General Secretary.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nunn.
Bulabnaka, Fiji. Freesoul Real Estate Development has been convicted of carrying out unauthorized development on Malolo Island. The matter was called for judgment in the Suva Magistrates Court today. Freesoul Real Estate Development was charged with 3 counts of undertaking unauthorized development and failure to comply with a prohibition notice. They had carried out work on the dry land at Wadia and Gelelawa on Malolo Island without an approved Environment Impact Assessment report in 2017. They were acquitted of the 3rd count of failure to comply with a prohibition notice. The matter will be called for sentencing hearing on the 7th of May. An application has been made to extradite a Canadian national to New Zealand for drug-related charges. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions filed a motion and affidavit this morning seeking orders for Joshua Aziz Rahman to be extradited to New Zealand to be tried for criminal charges. Pranita Prakash with the details.
Joshua Aziz Rahman is facing criminal charges in Fiji and has been in remand for 2 years. The Canadian national is charged with 1 count of unlawful possession of illicit drugs and is now awaiting judgment by the Suva High Court. Rahman is now also facing charges in New Zealand for drug-related offences. FBC News understands these charges were laid last year. Rahman was not present in the Magistrates Court today when the extradition application was made. The court noted that Rahman may not have been served with the necessary documents. Fijian authorities have alleged that Rahman had in his possession 39 bars of a white substance weighing 39.5 kilograms with an estimated street value of $31 million. The bars were allegedly recovered by the Fijian police in February 2019 when they raided Rahman's home in Dombati, Nasinu. The bars were later tested positive for cocaine. The matter will be called on 16th April. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party Management Board has appointed Lenaitasin Nduru as the new General Secretary and registered officer of the party. He succeeds Emilien Duituturanga, who resigned a month ago. Lina Rees reports Nduru's appointment is effective today, while Sodelpa has appointed Felipe Nguio as the Assistant General Secretary.
So here is our new General Secretary.
The decision by the party management board to appoint Nduru as General Secretary was unanimous.
We have appointed Mr. Lenaitasin Nduru, an excellent replacement to Ms. Duituturanga. Mr. Nduru, as you know, has been serving as the Assistant General Secretary for the last 9 months.
It's an honor to be appointed today by the management board. Their confidence in my ability to take over from a very competent former General Secretary.
It was also highlighted that there was a lot of interest in the position when it was advertised.
There were about 33 applications altogether. A lot of interest, but it is a very special calling. A lot of people with degrees and all that. But to be a General Secretary of a political party, it requires much, much more.
Sodelpa says that as soon as possible they will be advertising expressions of interest, inviting people to apply for a party ticket in the general election next year. Lina Rees, FBC News.
The Ratu Kandavu Level School Old Boys President says they'll be streamlining intake procedures from next year. President Alifereti Yaya says this will be done to address the issue of bullying in school. Yaya adds old scholars play a vital role in new intakes.
The RKS Old Boys President says from next year they will be stringent with the intakes.
The old scholars plays an important role in new intakes every year. So what we'll do now, streamline that one, just to try and cut down on bullying.
Yaya says they had raised the issues with the school principal and are interested in working with the Parent-Teacher Association to find a solution to bullying.
It will increase a lot over the years. Last year, there wasn't much.
We are working hand in hand, the parents, the teachers, and even the old scholars. That will help in minimizing bullying cases.
PTA President Jovesa Korovula has clarified that bullying is not a culture.
If it's a culture, then we would have faced it in this. No, it's not a culture. It's just something that is just created within the community over the years.
According to the Ministry of Education's Substance Abuse Advisory Council, 99 cases were recorded in Suva, 31 in Nausori and 20 in the Eastern Division. These statistics date back to 2018. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Investment Fiji is now targeting specific countries to explore potential trade and investment markets to assist in economic recovery. Chief Executive Craig Strong says following the Fiji 50 Global Trade Expo, they are now becoming country-specific and will be expanding their focus to markets throughout the year. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Investment Fiji has been conducting webinars focusing on agriculture, manufacturing and the pharmaceutical sector to showcase Fiji as a potential investment destination.
Last Monday we gathered a cross-section of industry from Fiji, which basically involved everyone that's in the ecosystem, the economy, to help us provide input into our strategic plan so that collectively, as an economic group, we understand which sectors that Investment Fiji needs to focus on to grow the economy.
Some of the investment webinars and trade expo are receiving positive response, with some importers overseas keen to trade.
Last month we focused on New Zealand, this month we have with New Caledonia, next month we're doing with Australia, and then we'll subsequent months with our key markets, the USA, Japan, China and so on.
Some of the ways we have been able to do that is having webinars such as this, networking, meetings, also charitable events.
Investment Fiji is planning a symposium for potential investors to come and review business opportunities and hopefully secure new trade deals. Strong says the Fiji 50 Global Trade Expo was a success, securing 60 trade deals. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
And we join Koroi Tandulala live now. Koroi, the government has been stressing that Fiji's immediate priority is economic recovery. How will initiatives such as webinars and symposiums help Fiji economically?
Edwin, securing new trade deals and new trade market is a critical step towards getting our economy to a certain state of normalcy. The exploration by Investment Fiji in seeking new trade partners will be beneficial for small businesses, especially the small, micro and medium enterprises, as it will benefit them. This will also have a trickle-down effect benefiting many Fijians. Having investment webinars and trade symposium gives us a chance to showcase what we have to offer to the world, attracting potential investors to come and spend in the country. As Investment Fiji CEO Craig Strong had said, securing new market now will not only bode well for the Fijian economy in the short term, but is sort of like a long-term investment towards the post-COVID future. Edwin.
Minaka Koroi. Up ahead, new classrooms for Mbua School and no march permit for union. Welcome back. The COVID-19 vaccination program started in the Northern Division today with frontline workers taking the AstraZeneca vaccine. The rollout of the vaccination today saw hundreds of civil servants and members of the disciplined forces take the jab. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
116 personnel from the RFMF's Golf Company and the Alpha team of the Engineering Regiment at the Sukanevalu Barracks took their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine this morning.
We believe that this vaccination will help us, especially part of the frontline team, frontline is operating in the north.
The vaccination has come at a right time when the Northern Division is getting ready to receive ocean travellers in Savu under the Blue Lane Initiative.
Most of our officers are on the front line on the border, and they will be partaking in securing borders on this Blue Line Initiative.
252 police officers also received their dose of vaccination at the Lambasa police station this afternoon in this first wave of vaccination.
We are in the front line in this containment of COVID-19 across the whole Fiji. On the economical impact, we again will be covering all the borders should it opens. And for the protection of our officers, it is important that they all to be vaccinated.
The vaccination program will be rolled out to other districts in Vanuatu over the next few weeks. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
Fiji has recorded a new border quarantine case of COVID-19. The patient is a 56-year-old woman who arrived from California in the United States on March 25th. She returned a weak positive result during routine testing while undergoing the mandatory 14-day quarantine in Nandi, indicating there was little viral material in the sample. The virus can remain detectable and cause a positive test result long after the infection has passed. The ministry considered this a historical case of COVID-19, but the patient has been transferred to the isolation ward at the Lautoka Hospital. There are now 2 active border quarantine cases. The Fiji Trade Union Congress will meet shortly to decide the next course of action as its application for a permit to march and hold a rally in Suva on May 1st has been denied. FTUC in a statement says the reason given verbally was that there was concern over the pandemic. National Secretary Felix Anthony has called on the government to review its decision and allow workers the right to assemble and march on May 1st. This is the 6th occasion where a permit to march has been denied. According to police, the decision has been made by the Divisional Commander Southern. However, no reason has been confirmed as yet. Construction of a 7-classroom building block at Lekutu Secondary School in Bua has started following the groundbreaking ceremony this week. It's part of the Education Ministry's rehabilitation program for schools severely affected by TC last December. Eleanor Turangaibiu has more.
Lekutu Secondary School lost all its 7 classrooms at the height of tropical cyclone Yasa last December. The students will soon get these classrooms back, with construction work already underway for a 1x7 classroom building.
Right now, getting you out of those learning shelters into these new 7 classrooms is our priority.
Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts Rosie Akbar says these classrooms are only temporary as the new permanent structures will be constructed later.
These are not your permanent classrooms. I can assure you that you will have a new, fully fledged school facilities in the area that's there. And we will restore the glory of your school once again.
There are around 180 students in the school and they have been learning in tents since the start of the new school year.
Our dream by the community for our new classroom has come to a reality. With the construction of new classroom, teachers and students will have a conducive teaching and learning environment.
The semi-permanent 1x7 classroom building will be able to withstand a Category 3 cyclone. Construction of the building is expected to be completed within 6 to 10 weeks. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
The Ministry of Waterways has handed over emergency creek desilting in the Central Division to a private company. The Eastern Mechanical Engineering and the China Yongan Group will be desilting the Nambukavesi, Wainimbuka and the Wainandoi rivers. Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the ministry will undertake the environmental impact assessment, get the fishing rights waivers and other requirements by the Ministry of Lands. The minister adds the environment officers and waterways engineers will be present at desilting sites.
The private sector undertakes desilting, pays the royalty and then takes the material, sells and makes the money. So in this way, we save the full amount that otherwise we would be paying to engage a contractor. So here we are in the first phase, we're doing 60 kilometers.
And now we join Whitney with tonight's business report.
Thanks, Edwin. Coming up in business tonight, trading with New Zealand. A new AMSAF office in Nandi. Stay with us. Small and medium enterprises in the West may get a chance to begin exporting to the New Zealand market. A few enterprises have been meeting with New Zealand's Trade Commissioner Gilles Miller this week. Miller is trying to assist businesses to open an exporting line in the NZ market as they are struggling due to the COVID crisis. One of the main purposes of also meeting the traders was to understand their situation during COVID.
This is our line of business. We really need to know and to get a good handle on how businesses are coping under COVID and to understand more clearly what their challenges are, so that as Pacific Trade Invest, we then can make a informed decision about how best to help them.
Sanifa joins us now with the latest from the money market.
Good evening. The US dollar was headed for its worst week of the year today as unexpectedly strong economic data in Europe, downbeat US jobs figures, and a firmly accommodative Federal Reserve have prompted investors to unwind some bets on the greenback. Overnight figures showed US unemployment claims unexpectedly rose. This saw the US Treasuries rise, pushing benchmark 10-year yields to a 2-week low of 1.61%. Meanwhile, a broadly upbeat mood in equity markets lent some support to the risk-sensitive Aussie and Kiwi currencies, which headed to the top of recent ranges. The euro and yen are also poised for their largest weekly percentage gains in 5 months. Next week, too, will be a busy one, with major focus being on the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's interest rate decision on Wednesday. So let's see what impact that will have on our currency basket. That's a wrap for the week from your HFC Bank. Have a great weekend.
Here are the local exchange rates as set early this morning. The dollar rebound today, gaining against the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, the euro and the PNG kina rather. It fell against the Australian and New Zealand dollars as well as the Japanese yen. Prices on the commodities went up today. The price of crude oil rose to $59.76, a huge jump in gold prices to $1,756 per ounce, and silver rose slightly as well at $25.50 an ounce. The new Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji Pacific Harbour Office is in line with the government's plan to decentralise its services. Minister for Transport Fayaz Koya says the MSF has taken a step towards creating a more eco-friendly offices. $20,000 has been spent on this office, which is the first of its kind, built using a 20-foot container with modern architectural designs, an open plan layout. Koya says decentralizing services shows determination, effective service delivery.
The opening of this office is certainly the progression of government's interest in ensuring that every seafarer living along the Lemi to Serua corridor and all its surrounding islands can access our services without having to travel all the way to Suva.
And that's it from Business Tonight. We now join Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thank you and good evening. Ahead in sports. Nandi wary of Rewa threat. And official countdown begins at the Fiji's biggest sporting event. This and more coming up. Defending Inca Fairbrother Trophy holders, Nandi is conscious of an unpredictable and a new Rewa team. Rewa last challenged for the Fairbrother in 2017 after beating Nabosa in the Bainimarama Shield match. Nandi and Rewa will lock horns tomorrow in the first challenge match at Prince Charles Park, with the hosts well aware of what Rewa is capable of. Aquila Dama reports.
It's still there. Chola Meluvevo.
Tailebu failed in the final challenge last year, but this young Rewa team has a chance of claiming this new Fairbrother Trophy for the first time tomorrow.
As we all know, if you follow rugby history, whenever Nandi and Rewa plays, it always goes down to the wire. Likewise, another important factor that every time Nandi and Rewa always play, it always rainy weather.
Whether or not it's going to rain, Rewa knows trying to take the coveted trophy away from Nandi is not going to be easy.
And we know they'll come out fighting. But we've discussed with the boys, we'll just have to be on top of our game on Saturday.
The Fairbrother Challenge kicks off at 3 p.m. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Apart from being the only vegan team in the Skipper Cup, Northland Rugby is also the first team to field players with physical disabilities. Winger Nasoni Nawana Wailangi, who has a hearing impairment, and tight head prop Osea Souvi, who is partially blind, will run on for the Northland elite team against Naita Siri tomorrow. Tale Materakula with the story.
And here's an opportunity for Blue Diamond.
Nawanawilangi caught the eye of coach Isake Katunimbao during the Maris Sevens last month.
We have Nasoni Nawanawilangi, who's playing at the wing. Massive speed, very powerful winger. So we are really looking forward and excited in watching them play this Saturday.
The team aims to break barriers.
It's a good opportunity to actually empower them and also to actually make them realize that nothing is impossible.
These are opportunities that are real. You don't only recognize our rights, you provide an opportunity that we realize our rights, in playing and participating in the sports.
Northland is living by its motto of leaving no one behind.
So NRU is here to make sure that no one is left behind, leaving no one behind and making sure that we give opportunities to everyone.
Northland is calling on its fans to support their three teams when they take on Neta Siri tomorrow in the Skipper Cup opener at Gatwood Park in Corvo. Tali Materukula, FBC Sports.
The Powerade National Torch Relay for the Coke Games will not take place this year. This is due to COVID-19 restrictions and the short window to the Games. Vinina Rakautonga has more.
It's unfortunate the torch relay won't be held this year, but spirits of students and parents are still high.
Because it's an Olympic year, what it does symbolizes the true spirit of unity in diversity that we have amongst us.
2,500 athletes will participate at the Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Championship this month.
Of those athletes, there are some of them who will be coming from the Maritime zone. Maritime zone is yet to have its own meeting. So additional athletes will come from Maritime, plus additional schools.
Wanga says it is unfortunate that some northern schools may not be able to make it.
Unfortunately, Madhuwata 1 is not coming. It's only 6 schools from Madhuwata 2 that are coming, and 2 schools from Boer Zone. The Australian High Commission is going to come on board to assist them.
The Coca-Cola Games will be held here at the ANZ Stadium from the 22nd to the 24th of this month. Athletes and supporters from around the country, minus a few northern schools, will converge here for the 3-day event. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
Leilene Memorial School sprinter Anare Sailo will be out to make his presence felt at the Coca-Cola Games at the end of this month. Sailo is one of the favourites in the senior boys blue ribbon after dominating the Triple N zone last month. Caroline Tavi reports.
Scooping the senior boys 100-meter event during the Triple N zone has been a revelation for Anare Sailo as he prepares for the Fiji finals.
After the Triple N, till now, regained all my discipline and I've been more attentive in training. So, seeing the improvement now from Triple N.
The youngster is not worried about time set by his competitors, but will be out to do his best.
Right now, I'm not really looking at their speed or their time. Just focusing on myself and trying to get everything right. So when Coach Day comes, trying to get what I want for this year.
Leilene coach Moise Altaf says the pressure is now on Sailo to deliver the goods.
But Triple N zone and Coke is another level. And we are going to compete with some of the best prepared teams who started their off-season like around about September and October time.
Other favorites in the senior 100 meters are Natambua High School sprinter Josevata Rasoi and Suva Grammar School's Tevita Sokiveta. Carlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
The Nandi football team will be aiming for 3 in a row when they host Lambasa in round 5 of the Digital Premier League this Sunday. With 2 wins on the trot, the Jet Setters are hoping to tame the Mbamba Lions at home. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The side knows the tough task at hand. However, they aim to get their 3 points on Sunday.
Yes, we respect Lambasa a lot because Lambasa haven't lost a game this year. Even whole of last year, 2020, we meet Lambasa about 3 times. We never beat Lambasa.
Grueling training sessions have been given to players as the coaching panel wants to ensure match fitness is consistent. With the side also playing at home, this may be an advantage.
I think 2 games we have won, but then keeping low profile, going in the game with a lot of preparation this week, and we respect Lambasa for the football that they are playing currently in this season.
Like all the players are here except 2, Christopher Kumar and Asnil Kumar. Asnil will miss the game, like he got a red card, and Christopher have 2 yellow cards. So we got the players there to fill that position.
Nandi will take on Lambasa this Sunday at Prince Charles Park at 3 p.m. Philip and Ikaso, FBC Sports.
The Suva Warriors have retained the Easter Cricket Shield. The Warrior side, made up of players from the police club, defeated Suva Crusaders in the final at Albert Park in Suva today by 38 runs. Crusaders were chasing the score of 110 but were all out with 72 runs this afternoon. Former national rep and Warriors coach Daniela Naulibo says they had to dig deep after 2 losses in pool play.
I told the boys we have to play cricket. See all the spectators outside, they come, they want to see who's the real champion, and it's Suva against Suva. It's like a school ball challenge, Army versus police.
In play of the day, Rabbitohs star Dane Gagai carving up the Broncos defense in their 35-6 win last night. This blistering run by Gagai sending Adam Reynolds over the try line just before halftime. That's it from Sports Tonight. Coming up, a rare Bond film souvenir is up for grabs. Find out more after the break.
And we now join Angie for tonight's weather.
Hello to you and welcome to the Weather World. It's Friday, the wonderful time of the week to relax and have fun because the weekend is here. Hope you made your plans already, and if you're dependent on the weather, then I'll tell you all about it. But first, let's see centers around the country. The West had a pretty good start. It maintained that throughout. The Westerners were pretty lucky. From Back Harbour to Suva, conditions were beautiful until afternoon. Showers striked, so the day had a bit of blues. But hey, it's a Friday, so there's no room for dullness. And in the north, more sunshine and less showers. Now that's the way to roll. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Turning to the tides, low tide at 11:23 p.m. with high tide at 5:38 a.m. Sunrise at 6:14. Tomorrow, if you're not having visitors over, then do expect a special visitor, and that is showers, so be well prepared. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be warm at 33 degrees, the warmest spot in the country. And the outlook for Sunday is little clear spells after heavy downpour. And that's all I have from the Weather World today. Take care and enjoy your weekend. Edwin, it's back to you.
Thanks, Angie. And in Fijian Pulse tonight, we ask, who is your pick for the Fairbrother Challenge between Nandi and Rewa tomorrow?
I believe that Nandi will win because they have a good side. I'm expecting them to retain the Fairbrother Trophy tomorrow at Prince Charles Park.
I think Nandi will win tomorrow because they play in their home ground. They have all the support behind them tomorrow.
I think Nandi will retain the trophy. I watched their game against Tailebu in the last 2 challenge and they were really good. I don't think they'll let the title go against Rewa because they have a solid side.
Nandi, because they hold the cup.
James Bond fans rejoice. It's not a new movie though. A rare Bond movie poster is up for auction and could rake in big bucks. And recapping our main stories, Chinese developers found guilty. New Zealand authorities want alleged drug trafficker, and Sodelpa appoints new general secretary. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, should COVID-19 vaccination be made compulsory? Visit our FBC News website to answer. And to our shot of the day, the sun setting in Narewa in Nandi. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. We're also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That's your news this evening. But before we sign off, just a quick shout out to our listeners on our Gold FM radio station for the simulcast. Tonight is our final simulcast of the FBC TV News Bulletin on Gold FM. So to all our listeners who've joined us on Gold FM for our nightly TV broadcast, we bid you a farewell and return you to your radio programming from Monday evening. That's it from us for this week. I'll be back again next week. Until then, stay safe. Modemanda.